The decision of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to postpone the presidential and National Assembly elections earlier scheduled for Saturday, the 16th of February 2019, is estimated to cost businesses in the country about $7.605 billion. These losses have been calculated based on the fact that the country experienced a partial shutdown on Friday into Saturday of the previously scheduled election date. What are the implications of this postponement to the economy? How much did the shutdown cost Nigerians and small businesses who survive on daily income? And how has it affected livelihoods? This is the portfolio on NTA News 24. I am Vivian Idekbefo. Our discussion will center on this, but we shall be bringing you other developments in the economy as Nigerians count down to the 23rd of February for the rescheduled elections.
The Nigerian Television Authority News 24 channel, your dependable all-round news station, offering you world-class news programs, documentaries, spotlights, promos and information highlights. Take advantage of our network reach and advertise your interest, goods and services with us. NTA News 24, first among equals with digital broadcasting. You can reach us on Channel 21 Terrestrial TV and Channel 101 on the Star Times platform. For more inquiries, please call Henry on 0803 379 0884. Join us today.
The markets reacted to the postponement Monday, but then oil prices took off some of the steam. Comfort Amadu is on hand with developments in the economy.
Many thanks, Vivian. Good to see you. Now on development on the Nigerian economy ahead of the presidential election, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has released a report on the performance of the Nigerian economy in 2018. The report shows that the economy has continued to recover. The economy expanded by 1.93% in full year 2018, higher than 0.82% recorded in 2017. And oil prices witnessed a little drop as the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria directed its members to reduce petroleum pump price from 145 to 140 naira following the postponement of elections. The national president of the association, Elder Chinedu Okoronkwo, said the decision is in a bid to motivate Nigerians to return to their respective polling stations to vote on February 23rd and March 9th. And the Publicity Secretary Yakubu Suleiman said most of their members across the country are complying with the decision taken by its National Executive Council.
Solicit and encourage our members that they should reduce 5 naira instead of them to sell 145 naira per litre, to bring it down to 140 between today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. At least to encourage people to go back again en masse to exercise their own franchise.
And some members of the public have applauded the gesture by the Independent Petroleum Association to reduce petroleum pump price and the decision by the National Union of Road Transport Workers to subsidize transportation to ease movement for the populace within the stipulated period.
And they are reducing the money of fuel. We are buying it for 145 naira. Now it came down for 140.
I think this improvement, I think step by step make a long journey. I think we are expecting the government again to try. Again, I reduce from that 140 to 120.
And that concludes the news. Many thanks for watching. I'm Comfort Amadu.
The Nigerian Television Authority News 24 channel, your dependable all-round news station, offering you world-class news programs, documentaries, spotlights, promos and information highlights. Take advantage of our network reach and advertise your interest, goods and services with us. NTA News 24, first among equals with digital broadcasting. You can reach us on Channel 21 Terrestrial TV and Channel 101 on the Star Times platform. For more inquiries, please call Henry on 0803 379 0884. Join us today.
Glad to have you back. Economic experts over the weekend made projections of the quantum of losses incurred by the nation as a result of the postponed elections. They also made recommendations of how the nation could recover from such economic shock. This is the focus of our discussion today on the program, and Dr. Sani Abdullahi, a financial expert, is here to discuss the economic dimension to election postponement. We're glad you could join us on the program.
Thank you very much, Vivian.
Now, first, let's have your reaction when you heard the news of the postponement.
Well, it is not a welcome development, not only to INEC or to other election stakeholders. It is not a welcome development to entire facet or the segment of the economy. This is something that has always been planned, and it is expected after it is planned to take place. A lot of budget, a lot of resources have been committed into it, and the postponement have extended the cost of handling the elections, even from INEC point of view, talk less of other aspects or the other components of the Nigerian economy. So I am not pleased that the election is postponed, whatever reason advanced by INEC.
Of course, everyone appears not to be pleased, and particularly Mr. President. And we also do know that the nation incurred some losses. In your view as a financial expert, how would you quantify these losses?
The losses to INEC itself, in terms of man-hour, in terms of resources because of the extension of the election, in terms of the cost of keeping the international observers, in terms of whatever thing you can think of, it is a colossal amount of resources. That is on INEC alone. On government, whatever the government budgeted for the election to be conducted has now to be, another budget have to come out as supplementary to support the period of the rescheduling. From the economic aspect of it, the markets have already reacted negatively. The stock market, the capital market, the insurance markets, and other markets in the financial system have all reacted negatively. And it has cost Nigeria billions of naira because of this postponement.
So this would hurt our credit rating in the eye of the international community, wouldn't it?
Of course it will. It is not only affect our credit rating, it will affect our people that are interested in making investment in Nigeria, because political stability is the bedrock of economic development. Any country that is not politically stable, investors that are willing to come, investors that are already in Nigeria will become jittery. And the postponement of the election is sending a wrong signal to the international community, to investors, to other stakeholders outside Nigeria that are interested in partnering with Nigeria in order to help Nigeria to come up economically.
Well, some say that the transport sector was the most hit, took a substantial hit because half of Friday and the whole of Saturday, transportation was grounded.
It is not only the transport sector. Transport sector is one. All the sectors. Remember, there was no movement completely. There was nothing to be done within those 2 days. So virtually the country is on shutdown. If you can now quantify the lost man-hour quantify that in naira and kobo, that is very huge. So it is not only the transport sector, the whole sector of the economy is negatively affected.
Well, some argue that the cost is more opportunistic than physical. What is your own argument?
The cost is real. There's nothing opportunistic in it, because whatever we are talking about, when you shut down a country, nothing works. Now, if you open a country, the entire economic activity of the country opens up, everything starts running. So it is just not a good news. It is not just a good news.
Somehow we've had some good news from this, in the sense that IPMAN has directed its members to reduce fuel pump price, you know, for those who will go back to vote. And some airlines are also running some promos right now for those who like to fly back to vote. This is some measure of relief.
Yeah, there's only two sides of a coin. What we are talking about the negative side of it. But then other stakeholders look at it as well, and what they are coming up with policies or initiatives to cushion the consequences of that postponement. And that is what the airlines and other stakeholders in Nigeria are trying to do in order to reduce the impact of the postponement on the electorate. Because the issue is, the election will not be successful if each registered voter did not have the opportunity to go and vote. So by taking these measures, IPMAN and other stakeholders that decide to take some good initiatives in order to cushion or reduce the effect of the postponement, I think that is a welcome development. And we hope that all other stakeholders as well are going to look at this area from now to Saturday to come up with initiatives that will help government and INEC to conduct the election on Saturday.
Okay, now let's look away from the big names and let's look to the SMEs. The impact, the possible impact this postponement had on them and may have on them for a while.
The SME sector is the greatest hit, because these people under this category are people that earn their living on daily basis. If they don't go out to go and conduct their businesses, a single dime doesn't come into their pocket. So by the time you shut down the country for 2 days, and then all of a sudden you render them ineffective, you should know that these people have no source of livelihood. And that is why the SMEs, people that earn their living on daily basis, are the greatest victims of this postponement. And we hope that the next scheduled date will be possible, will hold, so the election will hold, and people will now go back and conduct their normal businesses.
Would this have any other impact on the foreign investment?
Of course, I have said earlier, the bedrock of economic development of any country is sound political system. All the developed countries, if you look at it, if you look at them, you will see that they are striving because they have a stable political system. No investor would like to come and invest money in your country when the investor is not sure of getting return on his own investments. If the political infrastructure, if the political system is not in a way that it will guarantee him and give him comfort to come and invest in your own country, he will not come. Look at smaller countries like Rwanda today. Rwanda just came out of genocide in 1995, and Rwanda is becoming a country to be copied in Africa. Why? Because the president there have built a system that is reliable and things are working. Investors are running into that country, making investment. And this is what this government is trying to do by making sure everything is working perfectly. But somehow, somewhere along the line, there are other issues, there are other challenges that are even outside control of the government, and the government may not be able to control every aspect of the economy or every aspect of the stakeholders' behavior. And that is what leads to the cancellation or rescheduling of this election. And just like I've said earlier, any country that do not give investors hope that the country is politically stable, that country may not be attracting investment. And Nigeria, at the present state we are in, requires foreign investment. And I believe this is what Mr. President is trying to do in terms of rebuilding the infrastructure, working on energy, working on railways, working on all facets of the economy that will facilitate and encourage the inflow of cash to be invested in this country.
So how do we forestall this in the future so we mitigate all these losses? And we could channel these extra funds that we will now need to do some of our, build some of our infrastructure into some profitable venture.
Well, mitigation of postponement of election is not going to be easy. We may not know, we do not know what may have prompted the INEC chairman to reschedule this election. We have been hearing stories, some of them unbelievable. Now, if any one of us beyond him is exposed to see the reason why the election is rescheduled, then we'll be able to sympathize with him and the government for rescheduling the election. But now that it is done, mitigating it in future is all subject to an effective work plan.
Sorry, this is the third time the country is postponing a national election.
Yes, Vivian, that is why I'm telling you, election is a very complex exercise. Whatever the government do, whatever INEC is doing, there are other forces, there are other challenges that are outside the control of INEC that have direct impact on the election process. So I don't believe, just for no reason, the chairman will just wake up and cancel or reschedule the election. He may have his own reasons. But what we are supposed to do is to look at the reasons why those elections were rescheduled. Then we learn from those experiences and plan ahead of future to see that we mitigate and make sure those reasons that lead to the scheduling have not happened in the next election. So
as we round off this segment, your closing thoughts to Nigerians as we prepare for February 23?
Well, I am appealing to Nigerians. We don't have any country better than Nigeria. Any one of us that have his own PVC ready should please come out and vote the candidate of his choice. That is from the participants now. That is from the electorates now. I am appealing to INEC to make sure that based on this reschedulement, they have put in all the necessary infrastructure around them to see that the election has been conducted from their own side. At the same time, I am appealing to security agencies and institutions to make sure that they are effectively deployed and they should do their job according to international best practice. Conducting an election is not INEC alone. It is all of us. Everybody has his own role to play. So my plea here is to urge all the stakeholders, INEC, government, security agencies, we that are going to go and do, let everybody play his own part. And I'm sure we are going to have a free and fair election come Saturday.
Well, the discussion on postponement of election, I'm sure, does not end here. We'll take it on other medium as well. We thank you, Dr. Sani Abdullahi, for making our time. We understand your schedule is very tight, but you did oblige us. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure. I'm always available for you.
And the program portfolio continues shortly with Joy Uzo and the Capital Market Review.
It's good to have you join us for the Capital Market Review segment. For the week ended February 15, 2019, a total turnover of 2.834 billion shares worth 28.138 billion naira. In 28th 1,739 deals were traded by investors on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The NSE All-Share Index and market capitalization appreciated by 3.76% to close the week at 32,715.20 and 12.200 trillion naira respectively. Similarly, all other indices finished higher. The financial services industry measured by volume led the activity chart with 2.261 billion shares valued at 20.117 billion naira traded in 17,838 deals, thus contributing 79.76% and 71.49% to the total equity turnover volume and value respectively. The conglomerates industry followed with 292.191 million shares worth 525.329 million naira in 1,948 deals. The third place was consumer goods with a turnover of 116.843 million shares worth 2.525 million naira in 4,114 deals. Trading in the top three equities, namely Diamond Bank PLC, Access Bank PLC and Transnational Corporation of Nigeria PLC, measured by volume, accounted for 1.116 billion shares worth 3.707 billion naira in 4,179 deals, contributing 39.39% and 13.18% to the total equity turnover volume and value respectively. Also traded during the week were a total of 1.271 million units of exchange-traded products, ETPs valued at 9.782 million naira executed in 7 deals. A total of 1,460 units of federal government bonds valued at 1.472 million naira were traded last week in 9 deals. 60 equities appreciated in price during the week. 21 equities depreciated in price, while 87 equities remained unchanged. European stocks were mixed in early trade on Monday this week as market participants continue to monitor trade talks between the world's two largest economies. In the United States, stocks surged on Friday amid increasing hopes for a U.S.-China trade deal as equities posted another solid weekly gain. The Dow Jones Industrial Average jumped 443.86 points to 25,883.25. The S&P 500 gained 1.1% to close at 2,775.60. And Nasdaq Composite Index also advanced 0.61% to end the day at 7,472.41. That's it on Capital Market Review segment. Many thanks for your time. I'm Joy Uzo. Do stay tuned for the rest of our programs.
Thanks for keeping a date with us on this edition of the program, The Portfolio. Please keep your feedbacks coming on our social media handles showing on your screen. Remember, we are Nigerians, resilient and undaunted, whatever the challenge. Let's make Saturday a date with our choice of leaders. Till next week, I am Vivian Idekbefo. Many thanks for your time.